That's a really deep question for me as to what happens when I pray, because for me prayer comes in lots of different forms, and so what's likely to happen can vary quite considerably. I would say when I'm praying on my own and praying for something specific, there's a real sense for me of a connection with God. It's almost like God is sitting in the room with me, and we're just having a conversation. We're just chatting together. But internally, there's sort of a warm sense. So, which is why I say about that connection. You know, it's that feeling of when you're with someone that you love, and you may or may not be talking together, but you feel that there is a conversation going on between you anyway, whether or not you're using words, and that's sort of the sense that sometimes I have, that even if I'm not conscious of actually speaking to God, whether internally or externally, I still have this sense that a conversation is taking place. And then, you know, obviously there are times when I'm praying out loud in a group, you know, or leading prayers or intercessory prayers or things like that. And then sometimes what I really feel is like perhaps issues or people are really laid on my heart, and I know that this is, you know, God talking to me and saying, you know, this is where I want you to go with this, because I get a very different feeling. Sort of a bit like when people talk about somebody's walked over their grave and you get those tingles down your spine. I will sort of like feel that, and that's a very different sort of feeling around prayer. But what I also love, though, is that after any time, any real time in prayer, real time of being with God, I always come away with that real sense of peace and calm and stillness. Even if I don't feel I've had the answers necessarily, or sometimes even that more questions have been raised, that God has put more questions on my heart rather than answered the ones that I came to God with. But even with that, I always sort of feel this sense of stillness, of peace within me. So that's about it, I guess.